Please give a round of applause for Miss Julian Hogno from BSIT 1F1 for her speech.
Good day, everyone. Some of you may know me, but others may not. So please let me introduce myself to you. I am Julian Hogno from BSIT 1F1 and I am your speaker for today. Have you ever experienced a day without conversation or communication? Or have you ever imagined yourself quiet the whole time and didn't make any conversation? Well, I must admit that I can't live a single day without having a conversation, a communication to one another. Because communication is part of our life. We can't get through a day without communication, whether it is a verbal or non-verbal communication. Communication makes us understand one another. It makes us understand the meaning of the messages that the speaker relays to us. But do you ever wondered how we communicate to others? Or have you ever wondered how we communicate effectively? Well, let me share you my story. Years ago, I just know communication as verbal and non-verbal, and also as sending messages from the speaker to the receiver. Not until I learned and discovered the ethics in communication. Ethics in communication serves as our guide and protector in communicating other people. Ethics is like a conscience that tells whether we are doing the right things or not. It helps us in making right decisions towards communication that results to better action and conversation. But sometimes we forgot to apply ethics when we are communicating to other people. Let's admit it that when we are mad or angry, we said or decide things impulsively. We mostly say some hurtful and offensive words towards other people without knowing what they may think and feel. And that is because we are too much carried away by our emotions. We say unexpected words, offensive and hurtful words that we can't take back after saying it. I do believe that words are so powerful. All the words that came out to our mouth may either have a good result or bad results. Hurtful words are like dagger. In just one wrong swift movement, you can stab someone and hurt them intentionally or unintentionally. And this kind of scenarios shows communication without ethics. That's why it is important for us to know the ethics in communication. Additionally, being ethical in communication has a lot of things that we need to consider. First, if we are an ethical communicator, we must respect our audience or the person we are talking with. We must respect all about them. Like if they have another opinions or ideas, we should listen to them as they listen to us. It should be give and take for us to have a better communication and relation to the person we are talking with. Respect is a big word that every one of us must have in order to have a better communication to one another. Second, if we are an ethical communicator, we must know and accept the consequences of our action in communication. We must be responsible for our action. If we know that we offended other people or other person, we must know how should we ask for forgiveness when we are in mistake. Let's say that being ethical in communication also means being matured enough to know that you've made mistake and you're sorry for what you've done. Third, if we are an ethical communicator, we must respect the truth. As a listener or as a speaker, we can't guarantee that all of the words that we heard or say are all true. So we must have a better judgment towards every communication. But if we are an ethical communicator, we have a better judgment as always. We think and consider the right and the truth before we say things. Because ethical communicator always respect the truth and the truthfulness always comes first. Being an ethical communicator, we must use the information properly. Information are in everywhere. We just need to look around and see what are the information that we may need and use. But looking around, we must know how to use every information properly. We should know what are the usage of every information. Like when we are in communicating to other people. There are so many words all over the world. But those words have their own usage. So we must use and find the right word that are according to what we need. And that words will not hurt someone's feeling when we say it to them. Together to being ethical communicator, we must not falsify any information. And we must respect the rights of others to information. Falsifying is wrong, and will never be right. So to avoid it, we must acknowledge the rightful owner that we will be going to use his or her word by citing them or asking for permission. Communication is not just about speaking. It can be also in a form of written. So, as an ethical communicator, we must ensure that all of the words and information are original and not the falsify one. We must consider other person when it comes to information. Overall, in communicating, whether it is a verbal or non-verbal form, we must have some ethics. Ethics can save us from hurting other people's feelings and making wrong decisions. So we should consider ethics and ethical communication when we are communicating because that is for the best and we always aiming for the best. Again, I am Jindayan L. Hogno and that would be all. Thank you.